96% of dropshippers fail within the first month of launching their store. And no, it's not because their website looks bad or their ad creatives suck. It's because they picked the wrong product to sell. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, and no, I'm not gonna give you the top 10 winning products of the month that are not going to perform for you like a lot of gurus do. I'm gonna actually teach you how to fish, right? I'm definitely not gonna give you an undercooked, shitty fish that's not gonna feed you for life. I'm gonna teach you the actual tangible strategies that are gonna allow you to continue to find winning products even after watching this video. So that we don't waste time, I'm gonna jump into my 5-step checklist on how I validate winning products that have allowed me to generate tens of millions of dollars online with the e-commerce business model over the last 6 years. Number one, I wanna make sure that the product is not available in local stores. So if you're selling in the United States, that might be something like a Target, a Walmart, a Best Buy. If you're selling in Europe, it might be a big box retailer that's in the local market of the audience that you're selling to. Number two, there should be at least one competitor who's actually selling this product right now on TikTok, Facebook, or Google so that you have some point of reference and validation. This also helps you understand whether or not there's gonna be any available content for you to quickly be able to test that product. But I wouldn't look into testing products that have hundreds of competitors because a large majority of the market that you're actually reaching has probably already been tapped into. Now, number three, it has to solve a very clear problem or serve a very clear purpose. Not all products that I sell solve a specific problem, but they definitely have a purpose and a function, and they're not just some random trending product. Number four, this is probably the most important one. It has to have good unit economics. What I consider good unit economics in a product is the ability to mark it up by at least 25 USD and to have gross margins on that product selling price of at least 65 to 70%. Why? Because ads are not cheap these days, and if you want to factor in margin to be able to profitably advertise, you're going to need to factor in that margin. And number five, it has to have a large total addressable market. I'm probably not gonna sell a product that's something like a motorcycle inspired knitting kit because there's probably a very small select group of people that are interested in motorcycles and knitting, right? But if it was just a knitting kit or just a motorcycle accessory, that would make a lot of sense because there's a lot of people in those individual markets respectively. So let's actually dive in and find one or more winning products using some of these validation criteria, using one of my favorite product research softwares called Mina. Side note, I've always called the tool Minia, even though in a lot of the training videos that they put out, they pronounce it Mina. So I'm just gonna keep pronouncing it Minia. Now, it doesn't matter what tool that you use because there's a lot of tools that work really well to be able to find winning products. But Minia has been one of my personal favorites because of the variety of different features that they have available to be able to make it really easy to go through each of those 5 validation criteria. So as you can see, they have multiple different sections. They have top ads, they have shops, they have products, influence, magic search, and success radar. I'm only gonna be covering a couple of these because I don't want this video to be too long, but there is so much that you can do with Minia and their extended community that I highly recommend that you check out. So let's start with the ad section. So as you can see, there is going to be a pre-populated set of ads that don't have any specifications or criteria. What we're gonna do to increase the probability of being shown high potential products is we're actually gonna be confining these filters. Now, we can use some of their pre-populated filters such as best of the month, and it'll narrow it down by ads that have been created and that have been seen in the last 30 days that are essentially trending upward. So after scrolling for a little bit, you can see a product like this that regardless of who you are voting for in the United States election, if you're even a United States resident, you can't deny that this is a popular trending product and a popular trending topic. And so this is a product that I actually might recommend selling because it checks off a lot of those boxes, right? It's on an upward trend and trajectory. It's a very large total addressable market. It serves a very clear purpose. It helps people who are Trump supporters voice that, and no one likes voicing their opinions more than Trump supporters. Shoes always have pretty good unit economics. I'm actually a big fan of selling shoes myself, and the list goes on, right? So what Minia will actually do is it'll aggregate data for this specific product, including the ad, including the website. It'll even share the AliExpress link so that you can easily go and source that product. Now, if you ever find it challenging to find the types of products that you are looking for, it likely just means that you have to change up the filters. For example, I like to come to the best of the month filter, and I like to narrow down my engagement to 500 to 1,000 likes, right? 500 for me is enough to validate that this person has spent enough on ads for it to likely be profitable for them, but there's not enough engagement to where a ton of the total addressable market has already been reached. All right, so after a little bit of scrolling, I came across this specific product, which I like a lot. I know it also happens to be another pair of shoes, but this stands out to me because the person who's selling this has a ton of engagement. They have a very clear and a good offer, and so they're using marketing tactics that are similar to ones that I like to use. And so in an instance like this where I like the product and I might want to look at it later because I don't want to stop the momentum of my product research, I can just click on save and it'll move it over to a list of all the products that I'm interested in maybe checking out later or importing to my store. Now, if I want to see more information about this product, then I can click see more, and it can show me a variety of those things that I just mentioned: the Facebook ad, the AliExpress link. They even have a feature that is AI assisted that helps you come up with a description, a name for the product, and one click import it to your Shopify store. All right, so we just found two pretty good products that I would personally recommend selling. But what if you're not interested in selling on Facebook? What if TikTok is more your cup of tea? I would simply move over to the TikTok tab. And again, you can use this filter in multiple different sections. This is just one section out of like a dozen that Mania has. So you're probably watching a fast forwarded version of me doing the product research. I'm actually doing this live. I haven't pre-selected any of these. And you'll notice that I'm constantly changing up different filters in order to utilize the criteria that aligns with my specific product research methodology. If you've had more luck with just jumping on quick product trends, then you might want to use different filters and you'll have to adjust that to your liking. All right, so I just came across this product and I really like it because I actually had a friend who sold in this kind of Nordic industry and made millions of dollars in this industry. So I'm a little bit biased and I know that it works, but if I didn't know how it worked, how would I validate a product like this? First off, I would open it into a new tab, right? Secondly, I would look and see the performance of the existing product. I'd see that there's 2.9 million views, 224,000 likes, and that's a lot of engagement in order to validate whether or not this product did or did not work for this specific seller. Now, I'd go to the website and I would see what price they're selling it for, and then I would try to go to AliExpress and see what it cost me to get it so I could validate what the unit economics of the product would be. So as you can see, they're selling it for 60 bucks. If I had to take a wild guess, they're probably sourcing it under $10. So it definitely checks off the unit economic box. It definitely checks off the fact that someone else has already validated the proof of concept for this product for us. Now, it doesn't solve a problem, and you might even argue that it doesn't serve a clear purpose, but the checklist is just there to hold us accountable to try to hit as many of those as possible. It doesn't have to always hit all of them. And it's very unlikely that you can find this at a local store because it seems incredibly unique. And a way that you can see if this product is sold in local stores or in big box retailers like Amazon, Target, Walmart, etc., is you can actually use the magic search feature. And this is really cool because you can just add an image of the product and it will show you all the other brands, websites, etc., that are actually selling this product, or it's at least listed on. And so it might show you that there's a ton of competition for this product, which sometimes is not a bad thing, or it might show you that there's not enough sellers and you don't want to be the guinea pig that tests this product without someone else already providing some proof of concept for you. And if you don't have an image handy, you can always just go ahead and type in the product and see what comes up in the search engine for this. So as you can see, I've already found the product and it's showing me that it's being advertised or organically promoted on different platforms like Pinterest, which is something super fascinating to me because if I hadn't done this and I didn't have a tool like this, I wouldn't know that this might be able to be profitable with something like Pinterest ads because it's already on that platform, which means it's probably already selling there. I can also see other competitors that are using different video content, and I can see how the performance might be different compared to the original video that I landed on. And I might use some of those bits and pieces of it for my own creative just to test the product, right? Not to scale it, not to take it too far. We never want to steal other companies or individuals' content without their permission, but I'm not going to get too into that. Hey, YouTube fam, quick shameless plug here. If you or someone that you know is interested in building your own e-commerce business from 0 to 10K a month in profit in 90 days or less, I highly encourage you to check out some of the links in the description to see how you can work with me, my 7-figure e-commerce coaches, and my 8-figure e-commerce operations team, either through our coaching or our community. So if you're interested in that, check out the links in the description of this video or DM me the word coach on Instagram and we'll see how we can help. Now let's get back to the video. All right, so I think we've already found 3 potential winning products now. So now enough of using the ads feature, and we didn't even get into a fraction of the filters that we could have used there. I'm gonna move over into the products feature. It's probably my second favorite section because it shows you hand-picked products according with your specific preferences. All right, I'm gonna use the high potentials filter and I'm gonna go through and see if we can find 1 or 2 products that I would personally go ahead and start testing now. All right, so fun fact about this product, because I know some of you might have seen this before. I was at the barber shop the other day, my barber, and I saw him using this to get the hair clean from his floor, or at least kind of centralize it in one place. And I was laughing because I knew that that was a dropshipping product, and I asked him where he bought it, and he said he bought it from a website he's never heard of because it was a really great ad. And so I like to look at products, like everyday products that some other person might think is super competitive, and I like to market it either in a creative way, whether it's through the marketing angle, or I like to market it in a different country. So what I would recommend for a product like this, as you can see, it's being sold in a different country. That's probably why it's doing so well there, because there might be a lot of competition in the United States, especially in the general ways that it's been marketed. Now, the second way that I would personally creatively market this is I might still advertise it in the United States. The only difference is I would market it just to barbers or to hair salon owners that oftentimes get hair on the floor and want an effective way to be able to clean that without having to like reach their broom inside of like all the nooks and crannies in order to get the hair cleaned up. And so just by getting very specific on the niche that you're selling to, maybe getting a barber into your ad or going to your local barber and asking them if you can do a demo video with the product, I'm sure they wouldn't mind because you're also cleaning hair off their floor at the same time. Then it could be a massively profitable product for you, even if there is a ton of competition and even if a ton of people in the total addressable market has seen it before, because you can go after a specific sub-market that hasn't really been spoken to in previous ad creatives of the product and still have that specific avatar be interested in purchasing your product. Now, again, I know you've probably seen that product before, so I'm going to try to find a product that you maybe haven't seen before. All right, so here's a product that you probably haven't seen before, a dog backpack. Now, there are a ton of different variations of these, but the reason why I like selling products that are similar to ones that have sold in the past but not identical is because if someone already has a dog backpack, but they don't like the way that it functions or they don't use it that often, if you market them a new product that has additive benefits, then you might have them actually be interested in purchasing your current product, even if they already have something similar, right? The key differentiator here is you want to sell a product that's different enough to where if they owned a version that's similar to it, they would also still be interested in purchasing your product. So for example, if I had a mug that said Trump 2020 versus a mug that said Greatest Dad, yeah, someone has a mug, right, in either scenario, but there's something different about that mug that's going to trigger something emotionally and psychologically within that customer that's going to get them interested in purchasing the other mug, even if they had the original one, right? But I wouldn't stop here. I'd probably dive into AliExpress. I would look at other dog backpacks and I would see which ones have more additive features and benefits, ones that might be more tailored towards smaller dogs, ones that might be more tailored towards bigger dogs, so you can kind of niche down with the type of audience in the market that you're going after, and that'll make it a lot easier when it comes time to make your ad creatives. All right, so last but not least, just so that I don't make this video too long, I want to go into the success radar. This is one of my favorite places because they handpick products to you that are kind of trending right now that are really good, and I don't always use these original products at face value because I do know that other people are looking at them, but it's actually really nice to know how many other people are looking at them because I know that 99% of these people probably won't make any of these products profitable, let alone will even consider testing them. And I also like to expand my search for any of these products by taking it, going to AliExpress and trying to find something that looks similar or that serves a similar purpose or that solves a similar problem, but that looks different, right? And the characteristics of the product are just different enough to where if they had this red dress, they might also be interested in that black dress, right? Does the same thing, but looks different, and that customer might want both. That way, if anyone does successfully want to advertise these products, it doesn't matter to me because I'm selling a slightly different product, right? It's a modification, it's a variation of these original products. But if I did have to sell any of these products at face value, this would probably be one of them, right? The product that we also happened to stumble across earlier. I love the personalized pet photo necklace. I've heard of this brand before. I have a friend of mine that absolutely crushes it in custom pet products, specifically jewelry. And so I don't think that this is ever a market that's going to go saturated or that's going to get tapped out. You just have to get very creative with the way that you market things. I love kids educational toys. Fun fact, one of my biggest products that I scaled to over $1.7 million in 1 month when I was 20 years old was a kids educational toy. So do not knock the power of parents caring about their children's cognitive development because it is a very powerful and very profitable niche and industry. All right, enough of me scrolling. I hope that this video was valuable to you and you learned a little bit more about the product characteristics that I look for when it comes to validating high potential winning products. And I strongly encourage that you utilize these tools within your toolkit, such as Mania, in order to take some of the heavy lifting off your shoulders for finding them. Now, it might take some testing, but I guarantee you, if you use this exact method within Mania and you follow along with those core criteria and also modify them based on what you see working or not working within your product tests, that you'll find your first or your next actual winning product. The only way that I can guarantee that you won't find that product is if you don't test products at all. But if you continue to test the right kinds of products and you proactively adjust your criteria based on the feedback that you're getting from your advertising data or your organic marketing data, then you'll keep inching closer and closer to having that high product testing success rate. Now, if you want to get 20% off your first 3 months using Mania, click the link in the description of this video and use the code Kyle20. And always remember, you may just be one winning product away from completely changing the trajectory of your life. That's all I got for today's video, so I hope to see you in the next one.